What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Toy RCO to Builds. I want to talk to you today about tools. I think they often get overlooked in the hobby. We're always wanting to get the nicest truck and the best competitive shocks and motors and bodies and wheels and tires and scale accessories and batteries, and there's just so much in the hobby to get the best of, improve, upgrade. But what about your tools? What I wanted to do today was a little test. I want to compare the tools that I've been using for the past 5 years, which aren't bad for a beginner, but after years of use, they seem to have gotten worn out for me, and I seem to have been stripping a lot of screws, and I figured, what's the deal here? These tools just aren't working for me anymore. I'm getting tons of screws and everything that's just stripped out, and they're getting rounded off. The hex is no longer a hex, it's now a circle. So I invested a little bit of money, and I got the ProTek RC TruTorque SL metric hex driver set. I had seen these around for a little while and heard a lot of good things about them, and I figured, it might be time to upgrade my tools. It might be time to invest a little bit of money and get the best that money can perceivably buy. So there's a lot of different brands out there. I chose ProTek RC because they seem to have some hype around them, and they just looked really awesome. And when I got them and pulled them out of the case, you get this beautiful case. I was really impressed with them, pulling them out. The aluminum that they're made out of is super light, and you can tell that the actual bit end is made out of really quality steel. I also got the little colored collars that go on there, so if you have a 1.5 or a 2.0, 2.5 or a 3.0 sized, and for the metric set, that's what you get, these 4 sizes, and they do seem to be the most common sizes that you're going to use are the metric set with these 4 sizes. Now, I bought these myself. I didn't get these from ProTek or anything. I have like 9 subscribers, so at the making of this video, this is all stuff that I buy, I'm interested in, I want to try, and I want to bring you a true review. So I thought maybe I could put these under some torture tests, and maybe we could use some of my old tools, strip some screws, and try these ProTek, see if we can get these screws maybe torture tested, and still remove them out of something that we've gotten them stuck in using our old tools. And these are great if you're a beginner. If you get one of these sets, I keep these sets in my bag when I'm out on the trail, and I keep a pair of needle nose and the little Allen keys, and I've got, of course, the typical hex set here. They seemed fine when I first got them. I would strip a screw here or there. Over the years, though, of using them, it certainly seems like they've gotten worse for stripping screws. And I do have to say, using these over the past maybe month I've had them now, and I've worked on some different builds with them. I'm starting to build a gatekeeper, putting together kits, and just, typical tinkering. These have been awesome. So I'd just like to show you today what exactly these can do and why they're so much better. I love tools as well. If I take you on a tour here real quick, show you the tools that I got in here. I love tools. I like displaying them. So this is interesting to me. I think it's important in the hobby, and I think if you've been into this for a few years, you definitely should think about a new set of quality tools. Alright, so I'll give you a little close-up of these babies right here. Now, I made the mistake of thinking that my tools were worn out. I bought another similar set of the tools I had, another typical kind of starter kit, and I shouldn't have wasted my money on that. I spent like $20 on that. These, I think they were about $45. I bought them through A-Main Hobbies, and you can usually get a deal on A-Main They'll usually have like a 10% off 100 or 15 off $150 if you spend it on it. So you can get a little bit off there. I actually, I think I saved the 15. I spent about 150 and got a few other things. So I also got the collars with the little bit of savings I had. And I really like these colored collars on here. These do not come with the set, but whenever I'm trying to pick, I need the 2.0 millimeter. These collars do come in handy. Sometimes they're sitting like this, and if you didn't have this, well, I don't know what that is unless I spin it. So having the collar, just seeing it's blue and knowing that's my 2.0, knowing my 1.5's purple, that is, for me, super nice to have. These handles are super nice. This does spin at the end. When I'm really pushing down on something and screwing it in, this spins pretty nicely in my hand. But I think the important thing, the important bit, is the actual tip here of it. And it's kind of difficult to see, but the way that these are actually cut into the bit itself, into that shaft. I don't know if my camera can quite zoom in on it here, but this is some precision. The precision and how tight these fit into whatever screw it is. So whatever size it is, it's a precision that almost seems like it's not going to fit when you first get it, but it fits in so tightly and so precisely. I have not stripped a screw yet with one of these, and I'm not sure that you possibly really can, unless you're have insanely powerful strength and you're just abusing it at that time. I also went ahead and got these bits. These are basically same thing. I think these were like $25, but these are going to be the bits if you have a little hand tool. So I wanted one of these to be able to use like that. So that's another set to look at if you do use a hand drill, electric drill, that type of thing. Alright, so I'll bring you down here to the jeweler's vise. I think this is one of my favorite things in my shop here, is just a tiny little vise for tiny little parts. I've got an old link here that I figured we could use as part of our torture test. And we'll crank it down there so that can't go anywhere. And I've got a new typical RC hex screw. And just go ahead and put that in here. Alright, so the first thing I'd like to show you is the difference between your typical tool set that you might get that comes in a set for $20 or something. Now this has been used, granted, for like 5 years, so you can see how much play there is. That can wiggle quite a bit there, so you're not getting a nice tight fit, and that's why I was stripping screws mainly. Here's the new set that I bought, so I just spent another 20 bucks here and figured, I'll get a new set. I don't know how much you can see that there, but that does still have play in it from a new set. Now I have used this a few times, but I've only had them for like maybe 2 months or something. And I've used them a little bit, and that's a lot of play. The difference here, when you use these, you can tell right away in the play that you see. I can't shimmy this at all. This is 100% as tight as it possibly can be. There's no play. There's no movement. So that's the main thing I was trying to get across, is the difference between these, what that actually is. Now, for a beginner, are these the $20 tool sets, are fine for, just getting into the hobby and you're not sure, how long you might be in this hobby for. But certainly if you've been in this hobby for a while, I would really look at these. They have helped me out a lot. And I can't imagine using anything else. Another plus to it is these sets, whenever you get them, you have to exchange out, you know, the bits, and you flip them around. It's like a Swiss Army knife. I thought I liked that. I thought this looked like, whoa, why is there so many handles? It's too many tools. Give me something more compact. But actually, working here at the bench, I like having individual handles on each bit that I need. So when I'm done with this, I just put it here and I get out my other one. And then when I'm done with that, put that down and get out this one. For me, I don't know why, but it's so much easier than having to switch these or take them out of the handle or take them out of the case and then get them in there and get them to the right length you want. It's just so much easier to have them already on a handle, and you can replace these too. So there is a little hex screw in there, a set screw, and you can actually replace these tips. So if these do get worn out over the years and you do start to get some wiggle in them, you can actually just replace that shaft bit for a much more reasonable price than buying an entire set again. So you could equivalate these two, or whatever you want to say, if equivalate's a word. But the equivalent of this is basically like a toy grade RC from Walmart that you're probably not super going to be replacing the parts on, to a hobby grade RC where you can actually take it apart and you can replace all the parts as they break. To me, you know, finally getting these, it seems obvious how much better they are and why, you know, professional people in the industry would be using these. But let's go a little farther. I figured we could try to do some torture tests and see if we can, you know, strip some screws and maybe still be able to get them out with the ProTek RC. So I just put a little. This is just a hard plastic link from an old kit, and it's been cut. I don't know why, but I figured I could drill a hole in here and maybe just make an outrageously difficult hole to put a screw into. So I drilled it out with this little bit. Let's get a screw that's not going to want to go in there. Ooh, look at this. This screw's got looks like some old thread locker on it and some rust. So let's see if we can. Now the hole here, we might have to make it a little bit bigger, just so we can, but it should not want to super go into this. And I didn't make this hole that deep either, so we're going to be hitting just hard plastic. But I figured let's do some experiments here. Let's see if I can show you more of a way how good, you know, how much better these are. So I'm not that far deep in there. So I'm only, you know, what is that, half a centimeter or something, 5 millimeters or something across. So this is probably a lot longer than that, but let's just see if we can even get this threaded with my 5-year-old ones. Oh, okay. That doesn't even work. Is that a 2.0 millimeter? Yes, it is. You can just tell that this screw's been stripped out already a little bit. Probably all that thread locker. So that's pretty funny. There you can actually see there is a little bit of wiggle from the ProTek, but it grips it. But look at how much it just spins. There is no grip whatsoever. Let's see the new one. The new one has an extreme amount of play, but it does feel like it wants to grab. Let's see if we can even get let's see if we can get it started with the newer set here. I can't even get it started, and might have made this our problem too difficult. Okay, there we're getting it going, but if you see, I'm already stripping out. We did see that this one was doing the same thing initially, and that just, look at that. This is my 2.0 from 5 years ago. This is my new set, and it's grabbing a little bit, but it is it's spinning too. These are Eco Power. You know, nothing against any of these sets. Certainly for a beginner, this is a good set to start with. But you know, certainly there's just no comparison now with this. This is basically stuck in here for my old. This is what I wanted to show you. You know, basically. So that's a new one. I have this screw that's old. It's why am I still using it? It's got thread locker on it. How about the ProTek RC set to the rescue here? Let's just see if we can undo it. Look at that. Immediately can take that screw out. Let's see how much we can actually crank it in here. Because that was what got us in this situation in the beginning, is that we had too difficult of a screw. So I think we're just spinning now. So let's take this out. Let's drill it out a little bit more and see if we can get this to go all the way in with the ProTek tool. Little hand drill. I like these little hand drills just for precision and not having to use a ton of power with a regular drill. This is a Citadel one for you know, miniature war games and things like that. But I use it a lot for the RC hobby as well. Probably on this though, maybe should just be using a regular drill. Kind of glad this old link was useful for this. I wasn't sure how can I get you know, a difficult screw and actually show it to you, but yeah. So let's see how far we can get this with the new set, or I should say the new cheap budget set, which is, you know, again, fine for a beginner. So it's slipping, and that's as far as we can get it, is halfway in, and that's just spinning. The screw is, you know, obviously we should try it with a newer one. This one seems a little better. Let's see if the ProTek can do a better job. So that's actually, yeah, there it goes. And can tell it's getting pretty tight now. But these don't, that's how much play we're getting, and it's because this is worn out. You know, our other sets just completely spin in it. So I think we're down to as deep as we drilled. Can we even go any more? I think we're as deep as we drilled in there. And it doesn't even matter that this screw is somewhat stripped. We can put it in and remove it with ease. You know, try to do that with my old set. Can't even start it. And the newer budget set can get there a little bit, but then you are quickly spinning. So yeah, I think that really did what I wanted it to do as far as, let's try though, let's get a screw that's maybe not so, and I'm gonna keep that because with my new tools, it's not that stripped out. That's another thing too, is make some of your hardware a little more. So here is a, looks to me like a new, let's just see, tiny little bit. Now that's unfortunately, that's how that comes. That's as good as it gets for these budget sets. And if anybody out there has them, I'm sure you've encountered that. Okay, so I can screw that in plenty fine. And so, I mean, for a beginner, you know, these sets work well. So the screw's a lot bigger than our hole. So if you've got new hardware that isn't stripped out at all, you know, and you just want to get a set, these I think will do the job for you and certainly get you into the hobby and keep you going. But if you're like me and you've been in this hobby for a number of years, don't buy another set like I did and waste $20. Put that $20 towards a set of these. I think MIP is also another company that I heard of that makes similarly qualityed tools like this. So I think you're probably going to get the quality, you know, out of other sets in this price range. Again, you know, you do get what you pay for, and they have a if you like the type of you know, sets that are like this, they have a set, basically a bag that you can buy to start holding all your hardware like this. But I'm going to get these collars for my bit set that I have as well. I really like them, so I'm going to get those as well, and I'll probably end up getting the standard as well, in addition to the metric. I think the metric is mainly what you're going to see everywhere, but it's good to have that other set too. So definitely slowly over time I'll be, you know, adding these to my collection. But I was really impressed with these and wanted to share them with you guys. These were a $45 investment, and then another $12 or $13 for those collars. So you've got roughly $60 into a set like this with the collars and everything. I think it's super worth it. You know, you put that kind of money into a motor or a servo, and that's nothing. You know, that's not even that high end of a you know, motor, and certainly not even close to being a high-end servo. So I would recommend investing the money in something like these, and you know, not stripping out and ruining your screws, and you know, getting frustrated when you have a stuck screw that's ruining your project. You can't get it out. You know, you are getting out the Dremel and you're cutting your truck in half trying to get a dang screw free. It's just, you know, it's not worth it. So I hope that helps all you guys. I hope that if you're on the fence about buying these and you're looking this video up and you're looking for some independent review of somebody that's just looking for something that works, I hope that this you know, hits home for you, and you can see the difference that I see. And this is the first review I've done on YouTube, and I was just stoked on them actually when I got them. The quality, how light they are, this feels like a feather, to be honest. And I'm not trying to talk these up, but I really am truly just pleased with them. So do it, take the leap, get them, you won't regret it, and you'll have a much more enjoyable time working on your RC projects, and you will spend less time stripping out screws and more time getting projects finished and completed. All right, guys, thanks for joining me today. We'll see you next time.